And this morning, we are told a firefighter in Albuquerque is on desk duty, and the fire department won't exactly say why, but we have learned this particular firefighter is no stranger to trouble. We're talking about Brad Tate. His problems go back to 2004 when two women said he got physical with them inside of a nightclub. And a few months later, Tate was accused of starting a fight outside the Frontier restaurant and breaking a man's leg. Plus, Tate and the city are now getting sued, saying Tate was driving a fire truck that slammed into a car and killed William Ranch in 2009.
His call out was canceled, I think, right before he entered the intersection. He turned off his lights and sirens, but proceeded without stopping into the intersection.
Now we know Brad Tate has been suspended before, but has never been fired. And we asked the fire department about Mr. Tate yesterday. It would not respond, saying it was a personnel investigation.
Prosecutors in the case of a controversial police shooting released the audio recording of the incident after a Santa Fe grand jury cleared 3 state police officers involved.
53 Santa Fe, shots fired, we got shots fired.
Police say 34-year-old Samuel Pauly was killed during that exchange last October. State police had gone to the victim's home in Glorieta to investigate an earlier road rage incident involving his brother Daniel. He claims they did not know that police were at the house and feared that it was someone coming after them because of the road rage incident. Now, investigators say the victim's brother fired off warning shots from the house. One officer fired back, hitting and killing Samuel Pauly.
After the shots were fired, Daniel went in to go check on his brother. He found his brother on the floor, dying, and it was a terrible event for Daniel. It was very traumatic.
The grand jury did rule that the shooting was justified.
I-25 near Los Lunas is back to normal this morning after part of it was closed yesterday because of a deadly crash. Police say Thomas Leyba swerved into another car's lane near the Los Lunas exit, and 2 cars slammed into each other. He was killed in the crash and was 87 years old. The 2 people in the other car were rushed to the hospital. Opening statements are expected in just a few hours in the second trial for the woman accused of killing a bicycle rider along Paseo del Norte in 2010. Miranda Pacheco's first trial for vehicular homicide ended last year in a hung jury. Then prosecutors said they were just 1 juror away from getting a guilty verdict. Yesterday, the attorneys picked 12 new jurors. They'll decide if Ms. Pacheco is guilty, accused of losing control of her car, crossing 3 lanes of traffic, going through a fence, and killing this man, David Anderson. Pacheco says another driver cut her off.
An Alamogordo couple is arrested after police say their pit bulls attacked 2 women. Cops say one of the victims was walking home from the store and noticed that the dogs were becoming very aggressive. The woman then called her daughter. After that is when police say the dogs started going after them, biting them several times. Robert and Anna Alcala were charged with having dangerous dogs, and we're learning it's not the first time they've had some trouble.
It was learned through animal control that they received numerous calls in reference to these certain pit bulls.
26 called to be exact, for everything from dog fighting to animal cruelty. A judge will decide what to do with the pit bulls. The man who police say stole expensive jewelry from a shop on the plaza in Santa Fe last Friday is in jail this morning. They say William Wagner etched a circle in the window of Charlotte Jewelry, used a rock to push it in, and then stole some pricey rings. Investigators say Wagner had one of those rings on him when they arrested him.
How to make New Mexico's economy grow. That's what Governor Susana Martinez and other state leaders are set to talk about today at the New Century Economy Summit. They're also supposed to talk about ways to get new businesses to come here to New Mexico and create better workers here. We'll be at the summit, let you know what the governor and others have to say a little bit later today. When you go to the Balloon Fiesta this year, you'll see something new and very special.
It is a tribute area to Richard Abruzzo and Carol Reimer Davis. They are the 2 famous balloonists who died in a crash a couple of years ago. Now, the first part of the tribute area officially opens up later today. That's where our News 13's David Romero is right now. Good morning, David. This is pretty exciting stuff here.
Well, good morning, Elizabeth. That's right. And according to a city website, once it's complete, the 4-acre section of the park will have a nice area for kids and families to come out and enjoy it, even when the Balloon Fiesta isn't going on. And of course, this will finally connect the Balloon Museum up the hill to the multi-use park below. Now, it's also the most important thing that we want to remind everybody about, that this will be a tribute area which will focus on paying tribute to fallen balloonist Carol Reimer Davis and Richard Abruzzo. The 2 were competing in the Gordon Bennett gas balloon race in late 2010 when their balloon went down off the coast of Italy. Their remains and the balloon were found about 2 months later. Abruzzo was finally brought home and laid to rest. Now his family and the city are paying tribute to him, as well as Rambert Davis in the tribute area. Now, the city website also says that Albuquerque voters approved a $500,000 GO bond in 2011. That's going into the project. Another $250,000 is coming in from the Sandia Peak Ski and Tram companies. Now, Mayor R.J. Berry and other city officials, along with the Abruzzo family, will be out here this afternoon. This is behind the Balloon Museum. Of course, we can't show you that this morning because it's all in darkness, but it's right here behind the Balloon Museum, and that will be taking place this afternoon at 2 o'clock. Elizabeth, back to you.
Okay, David, thank you. The city says there are also ways that you can be part of the tribute area. There are donation levels that you can contribute to.
And you'll